This video is sponsored by Deep Cut Studios. For a wide range of fantastic gaming resources such as battle mats, dice trays and pre-painted bases, check out the description below. Hi guys, and welcome back to our Malifaux Masters Breakdown, where we showcase the factions and personalities vying for soulstones and dominance within the Broken City. Today's episode focuses on the Outcast gunslinger Parker Barrows and his bandit keyword. The bandit keyword are ranged specialists thanks to an array of brutal shooting attacks. They excel at making use of scheme markers through the Life of Crime ability, which grants models fast when they remove one at the start of their activation. This will often be enemy markers given the highwayman nature of the drop it tome trigger on their shooting attacks, allowing them to effectively counter enemy scoring options. Of course, as you might expect, the bandits can handle themselves in close combat thanks to the gunfighter ability, which allows them to treat their shooting attacks as one-inch melee. Finally, as a highly mobile crew with shorter range revolvers, the bandits have run and gun, allowing their charge actions to generate shooting attacks rather than melee, allowing them to close the gap on their prey for a big payday. With stat 6 on defense and willpower with 14 wounds, Parker Barrows strikes an imposing figure at the head of the bandit posse. His 6 shooters might look tame at stat 5, but they gain +1 to their duel for each scheme marker within 3 inches of the target, topping out at a stat 7, all the while ignoring friendly fire. Parker's signature ability is his stick-up attack action, which can force enemies to discard cards or face a deadly 4 damage. Finally, with a myriad of methods to generate enemy scheme markers, Parker can end his activation with the cashing out bonus action, generating a card or soulstone for each enemy marker removed within 4 inches. Accompanying Parker into battle is his unwitting captive pet Doc Mitchell, an arcane reservoir healer who can place injured allies in base contact thanks to bedside manner. The good doctor is capable of some solid damage from his hidden flintlock, but must discard a card or drop a scheme marker if the bandit leader is watching him. The bandit keyword features 2 henchman options, starting with the excellent Mad Dog Bracket, a hefty damage dealer who can get his brutal Chesterfield shotgun into the thick of the action thanks to run and gun. Bracket can get himself out of trouble with suitable application of his burning cigar, and even has some terrain removal thanks to blow it to hell as a bonus action. Alternatively, you might consider the shared plague packmaster Benny Walcom, who commands a small army of rodents thanks to his tactical summoning action which can quickly swarm the enemy. Once out, the rodents can provide Benny with shielding and drop scheme markers when killed within 4 inches, thanks to the loyal to the very end ability. Moving over to enforcer options, we have the boy straight out of Folsom named Sue, a walking bag of references who draws a card at the start of his activation when below half health. Walk the Line allows some excellent out of activation movement, while his bonus actions can either negate triggers or create a burning ring of fire within a 3-inch aura. Heading over to minions, we have the Conflict Gunslinger, a bulletproof 8 soulstone range beater with a 245 damage track on its stat 5 custom firearm with an inbuilt positive flip and excellent triggers throughout. The Gunslinger is so quick on the draw that he's able to apply the same damage track on its defensive trigger of a mask versus shooting attacks, and can move allies along thanks to the chain gang bonus action. For the same cost, you could take a more up close and personal option with the Waku Raider, whose balanced sword can hit hefty damage thanks to charge through and access to the crit strike trigger. Once in melee, combat finesse stops enemies from cheating fate when attacking the Raider, while a new Horizon can move markers across the battlefield if you have a 4 of tomes in hand. Speaking of shared models, the Joint Tormented Dead Outlaws offers some survivability at 6 soulstones with 7 health and hard to wound, and has access to a pseudo obey action at gunpoint, which has an inbuilt damage buff should you force an attack out of the target. Alternatively, the infamous Bayou Smugglers can keep markers relevant as you move up the board thanks to the drag behind trait, while the Appraise tactical action allows you to generate card draw or scheme markers depending on the value of the card flipped. Finally, at 5 soulstones is the ubiquitous Bandito, who again possess at gunpoint at a stat 5 and can fire the 234 Collier revolver out of activation thanks to the trigger finger ability, which allows a free shot when an enemy drops a scheme marker within 8 inches. The bandits excel at getting across the board rapidly and delivering a hail of bullets to their unwitting targets. Scheme pools that revolve around spreading your models work to Parker's advantage, as do those that focus on assassinating key pieces in the crossfire. The posse are very effective at scheme denial thanks to their ability to control marker placement and remove them through Life of Crime. They are also strong at managing their control hand, thanks to multiple ways of refreshing and replacing your extended resources thanks to the Doc's arcane reservoir. Finally, thanks to their faction, the Bandits are arguably the most synergist keyword with the Outcasts' wide variety of excellent versatile models, meaning you will almost always be able to field a force specially catered for the matchup that you are playing. If, on the other hand, you find yourself at the wrong end of the highwayman's barrel, then fear not, there are some actions you can take to escape with your soulstones intact. Firstly, as you might expect against a shooting crew, terrain is your best defense, through cover and concealment to increase the chances that the bullets will miss their mark. Secondly, both stunned and staggered will shut down a considerable portion of the bandits' cards, as will giving them distracted or willpower duels to pass before shooting through boring conversation or terrifying. Finally, none of the bandits will stand up to much focused targeting, including their master, so a big 2-inch melee beater can wreak havoc and negate the value of gunfighter. So if you'd like to take the bandits out for a spin, here is an example list for you to use. Use Mad Dog and the Gunslinger to pour out damage while your bandidos secure schemes and Parker shakes down the enemy's resources. Sue and the Dead Outlaw are excellent flex pieces that can be relied upon to get you the strat points you need, and once you've mastered these characters you can start exploring some of the keyword's excellent new releases, as well as versatile options such as the Hodgepodge Emissary and Midnight Stalker. So that brings us to the end of this Malifaux Master breakdown. We hope it's been useful in giving you a snapshot of the crew and its mechanics. For more talk about Malifaux and its masters, why not check out our podcast The Harlefaux Show, where we break down each keyword and why you should play it. Alternatively, we have a wealth of beginner-friendly battle reports here on the channel that guide players through every flippin' decision. Whichever you choose, we look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care, folks. Hi guys, and thank you so much for watching our videos. It means the world to us. If you want to see some more, they should be over here. If you want to support this channel, keep these lights on. You can find links to our Patreon and merchandise in the description below. Take care.